House Financial Services Committee, and they're going to look into exactly what happened and what it means maybe more broadly for crypto in our current society. We turn now to one of those who will be asking the questions, Democratic Congressman Brad Sherman of California. He is a member of the House Financial Services Committee. So, Congressman, thank you so much for being with us. First of all, as I understand, we're going to hear from Samuel Bankman-Fried. We're going to hear from the man who now runs FTX, John J. Ray, who's been appointed sort of in bankruptcy for it. What do you hope to get out of this?
Well, I hope that our focus is on whether crypto is good for America, not only our investors, but let's face it, the purpose of cryptocurrency is to partially displace the U.S. dollar. Whenever you're going after an incumbent in a market, you name your product about the advantage you think you have over the incumbent. So Jolt Cola has more caffeine. What does cryptocurrency have over the U.S. dollar or other major currencies? It's right there in the name. Crypto, hidden money. Cryptocurrency. And so my goal is to say enough is enough. It's time to prohibit Americans from investing in crypto. If we can't do that, if we're able to impose the Know Your Customer and anti-money laundering statutes on the entire American-involved crypto ecosystem, then you'll strip away from crypto the one reason it has for existing, and that is to be a hidden currency.
So let's talk about that specifically. I mean, you've been skeptical in the past about crypto, without a doubt. But historically in the United States, by and large, we've gone the route of disclosure rather than banning things. That certainly is the fundamentals of our securities laws. You have to disclose what you're doing and let the buyer decide what they want to do. Do you see a path forward that crypto can do what it wants to do, provided there is accurate and full disclosure?
Well, in the investment world, to protect investors, we tend to go with full disclosure. But there are certain products that are antisocial in their nature. You can't go public with a company that is going to build burglary equipment because we don't want burglars to have better tools. And a crypto exists as a tool for the very large market, which is why it hopes to be successful, of tax evasion, bankruptcy law evasion, which I know Mr. Bankman-Fried is learning more and more about, and the invasion of sanctions laws, our drug laws, et cetera. So from an investor protection standpoint, maybe it's enough to provide disclosure, but there are certain products that shouldn't be out there. And one that has as its sole advantage and its namesake evading U.S. sanctions laws, tax laws, bankruptcy laws. We just don't need a product like that.
Well, let me pursue that, because you refer to burglary equipment. The only thing you do with it is violate the law. Is there no redeeming social value potentially to crypto at all? Because we hear people say it can facilitate transactions in a more efficient way, including across boundaries.
Well, first, one good thing about crypto is it helps you evade the laws of bad countries. But just like burglary tools might help you burglarize somebody who deserves to be burglarized. The other thing is a payment system. A blockchain is interesting technology. We have, I think over the next 10 years, the payment systems for the U.S. dollar and other currencies is going to be much better. I don't like to see this 3.5% charge that merchants are paying. I don't like, for the most part, we've already gotten away from paper checks, but that's still an inconvenience. So I think we can improve the payment system. But to say that you need hidden currency because you want a faster, more efficient payment system is, I think, a red herring.
Okay, so if there are advantages to a digital payment system that could really redound to everyone's benefit, but there are problems with the crypto part of it, do you envision a world in which the government essentially takes over the digital currency, either through the central bank, or they could be supervising the regular banks to do it, so that we get the advantages of the digital payment system without some of the problems you see potentially for illegality?
Well, we're moving toward a more efficient payment system already. I mean, Venmo and Apple Pay and whatever, and we need to see more competition in that market. We need to see the technology get better, and I think we will, just as we've seen everything else that can be done digitally, done at lower cost as decades go by. I think you could have a digital currency from the Fed, or you could have it run through the traditional banks. But in any case, what you want is a system where we have the maximum possible know your customer, anti-money laundering enforcement. and that is an antithesis to the crypto ecosystem.
So, Congressman, we've seen you in various hearings take a position on crypto, a skeptical one, as I say. Talk about what exactly you hope to get out of tomorrow. I mean, have you already made up your mind, or are there things that perhaps Mr. Ray, John J. Ray, could tell you about what happened here that could separate what went wrong with FTX from perhaps what could have gone right? Or do you think the whole thing was just wrong from the get-go?
Well, I think the whole thing's wrong from the get-go. But that being said, I chair the subcommittee on investor protection and capital markets. And so we do want, as long as Americans are buying crypto and are allowed to do it, we want fully audited brokerage firms with from serious accounting firms. One thing that I'm concerned about is it's kind of chutzpah to have investors who sent their money to the Bahamas so that they could evade U.S. investor protection law, which is the only reason you establish an exchange in the Bahamas. And then the investors say, well, I sent my money to the Bahamas to evade the SEC's protection. Now, damn it, why didn't the SEC protect me? We can't protect American investors worldwide if they choose to take their money offshore. But at least we signal that when you send your money to the Cayman Islands, when you send your money to the Bahamas, there's a reason why the financial institution is there, and the reason it's there is to evade U.S. law.
And finally, Congressman, you've been very direct, and I thank you for that, and your attitude toward crypto and what should happen here. Is there sentiment in some of your colleagues, Republicans and/or Democrats, that might actually support a move to actually ban crypto? That is, crypto, the secret part of crypto. Is that feasible?
I think it's going to be tough because all of the lobbying power, and it wasn't just Sam Bankman-Fried, is on the side of crypto. The crypto billionaire bros have made billions. Literally, they've made money by making money. And there's no lobbying firm in town. There's no PAC in town that is dedicated to enforcing our tax laws, enforcing our sanctions laws, and making sure bankruptcy courts aren't evaded. So I think it's going to be hard to pass new statutes. I think we're still playing defense. But Sam Bankman-Fried's involvement in Washington had one purpose, and that was to provide light regulation, the patina of regulation, to crypto by getting the CFTC involved and excluding the SEC. And I think that will fail. I think the SEC will retain the powers that it has. Those powers are pure luck and happenstance. They stem from a case from the 1940s defining what is a security. But I think Gensler is right that the vast majority of crypto coins are securities, and it's now time to shut down the unregulated U.S.-based securities exchanges that claim they're not securities exchanges because they're just dealing with crypto.
Congressman, thank you so much. This was really helpful. We'll be watching tomorrow because we're on Bloomberg. We're going to take live those hearings, so we'll be watching you as you ask your questions. This has been terribly helpful today. That is Brad Sherman. He's Democratic Congressman of California.